Hi James, I have teleported here to Scrooby Manor, the ancestorial home of William Brewster. And I'm really lucky today to be greeted by the current occupant Kamilla and singing sensation Carrie. Hi guys.
Hiya.
So we're socially distanced, as you can see, because there's still the rules, everybody. So just tell us a bit about what it's like living here at Scrooby Manor.
Well, a lot of people ask me, is it haunted? It's not. I actually feel quite safe. But no, so the manor house is goes well. The earliest reference is the 13th century, so quite a while ago. And formerly, before the Mayflower Pilgrims moved in, it was Henry VIII's hunting lodge, and also belonged to the archbishops. So a lot of history, but predominantly, obviously, what we're celebrating this year is the 400th anniversary, which is for the Mayflower Pilgrims, and William Brewster and his family lived here, and the elders used to meet in secret because obviously they were separatists and it was against the Church of England at that time.
And at the front of Scrooby Manor, there are plaques that celebrate the Mayflower Pilgrims. There's one that celebrates the 300th anniversary that was put there in 1920, and that specifically celebrates the Pilgrim Fathers and the fact that William Brewster came from this area. But then last year, a new plaque came. Can you tell us about that?
It did, and finally we're going to hear something about the women who actually also travelled on the Mayflower voyage, because predominantly it was always referred to as the Pilgrim Fathers, and we now, obviously as a whole, it's the Mayflower Pilgrims, and that plaque in particular was donated in memory of Susanna White.
That's absolutely right, because the women, the children, dogs all came with them on that treacherous journey. And that leads us really neatly into what you guys are doing, and Manor Opera, a female-led northern opera company. What can you tell us about that?
Plenty. So we're going to start off with Opera in the Garden, which is a gala of operatic classics and a few semi-stage scenes, and we want to link into, with the house especially. So we're looking at Shakespearean operas. There are so many. There's Romeo and Juliet. There is Macbeth. There's Midsummer Night's Dream. There are so many incredible stories in opera, and we want to link that to the house especially. So we have a quartet of us. There's a soprano, which is me, Kamilla, mezzo, a tenor and a baritone, who are fairly local as well. And we're just going to put a nice little gala for everyone, and they can have a little picnic and enjoy it.
Sounds fantastic. And when is that?
The 3rd of October.
3rd of October, and what time is that happening?
1 p.m.
Yeah, the grounds will be open at 12 p.m. So that people can set up, and obviously the staff will be monitoring to make sure that people are social distancing, and parking will be available on site. And yes, like Carrie said, it'll start at 1 p.m. There'll be a short interval where people can wander around. Although the grounds are open, they're not allowed in the house because it is a private residence, so we have to respect that of my family. And yeah, like Carrie said, linking it with Shakespearean, obviously because that's linked to the Tudor part, which obviously, as the Pilgrims were on, their journey to try and get out of England, Elizabeth was predominantly on the throne, so there's lots of operas that tie in with the Tudor period, and also what we've also sang today. Carrie, you sang an aria from Gounod's Romeo and Juliet, so Shakespeare, and I sang one from Don Carlo, which is usually set in opera around the Tudor period, so it all kind of interlinks.
Yes.
Beautiful. And most importantly, how can people get tickets?
You can visit our website on www.manoropera.org.uk. There is obviously things about our regulations that we're taking to keep everybody safe. We've yet to announce the singers, so that will all be on our social media platforms, so at Manor Opera on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. And yeah, it's all online, so paperless, easy to use. And yeah, the tickets are available now.
Amazing.
So
Fab. And just before we go, Kamilla, Carrie, just tell us one more time what you're singing for us today.
I'm singing O Don Fatale from Verdi's opera Don Carlo.
And I'll be performing Duke mi son codome Verno, which is from Gounod's Romeo and Juliet.
del che il suo furor mi fece il cielo. Tu che ci fai si valne altere, ti maledico, ti maledico, mia beltà. Versa sol posso al pianto, sprimino non soffri dovrò. Il mio diletto irrilmi tanto che cancellar mai non potrò. Ti maledico, oh mia beltà, ti maledico, oh mia beltà.
Je me patienterai pas encore.
de ma foi. Viens, amour, ramène mon courage, aidez-moi que j'ose les voir. Ils étaient cette feu outrage, tremblant et un manque de foi. Toi-même ce breuvage, verse toi-même ce breuvage. Verse ce breuvage. Romeo, je bois à toi. Mais c'est dans mon balcon, dans un caveau funèbre, je m'éveillais avant son retour de poison. Cette poussière horrible a glacé tout mon sang. Que deviendrai-je aux ces ténèbres dans ce jour d'amour? Et je soumis son mot que le siècle passé on répète tout ce monde. On te parle tout signant des sans blessures près de moi dans l'escalier comme héros. Dieu, maman racontera sa mort. Quelle est cette ombre à la main échappée? C'est Tybalt, il m'appelle, éveille des mangements, ne côté mon épaule.